Hey, welcome to the podcast Domination Show, where we help you launch, grow, monetize, and dominate the podcasting space. This is a show where we believe that if you can get attention with your podcast, you can influence someone. And if you can influence someone, you can get them to take massive action. And if you can get someone to do that, you, my friend, can dominate. I'm Luis Diaz, your host and founder of Podcast Domination, and I'm your guide. Let's go. Hey, so I know you're probably wondering, why is Luis interrupting his own podcast? Well, guess what? I have a little secret for you. And I'm not going to whisper this entire commercial, but I just wrote a book called How to Get 100,000 Downloads in 100 Days, and I want to give it to you for free. Now, this book is going to be on sale on Amazon probably for about $20 or $30. We'll see. But I want to give it to you for free because you are listening to this episode and this podcast, and I appreciate that very, very dearly. So all you have to do to get a free book, a free copy of my book, a physical book if you're in the US, and if you're in the outside of the US, then I will give you a free Audible book version and a free Kindle or ebook version as well. Okay, so here are the steps. Ready? All you have to do is leave a review in the iTunes store for the podcast. If you think it's worthy of 5 stars, I really appreciate it, but I value honest feedback. So leave a review, screenshot it, and tag me on Instagram. My handle is @LuisRyanDiaz, LuisRyanDiaz. Tag me with the book review, and then I'll DM you, or someone from my team will DM you, to ask for your address, and I will send you a copy of my book. Maybe write a little note in there to say thank you, and we'll go from there. So if that sounds good to you, leave a review, and I'll see you on Instagram. Thanks. Now back to the show. This is the podcast marketing secrets in your car, in my car, where every day, Monday to Friday, I give you one strategy, one tactic, one way to get better as a podcaster, grow your show, monetize your show, and have fun with podcasting. So today we're going to talk about how to get better as a podcaster every single time you get on the mic. And it's not sexy, but it works, and the best of the best do it. And if you look at anyone in sales, I guess if you look at a guy like Grant Cardone or a Dan Locke or anyone who's really good at sales, who's known sales, they do this. And it's something that you as a podcaster should be doing too. And I started doing it as well. I'm like, man, I really should be doing that. Because when I do this thing, it helps me realize my mistakes so much quicker, helps me realize when I'm getting boring, helps me realize when I'm not delivering on what I said I'm going to do. So today, by the end of this show, this little 5-minute show, you are going to know how to get better as a podcaster. That's my promise to you. What I want you to do after you're done listening to this is to actually implement this strategy. And it's not going to be fun, but it's going to take you around 10 minutes every time after you drop your show. Take 10 minutes and do this, and it's going to really help you focus in on the details and what you're missing in your show. And your downloads are going to increase by this. Your show is going to sound better. You're going to get more reviews. You're going to actually start to move the needle and figure out what it takes to actually get there. So I'm excited I started doing this. It's not fun, like I said, but it works. And what I'm talking about, I'm going to start beating around the bush now. What I'm talking about is reviewing your show, so listening back to your show. Here's a couple of things that's going to happen when you are done doing this, right? Number one, you are going to realize when you're getting boring. And that's the number one cardinal sin of podcasting. So when you get boring, people drop off. When you get boring, people don't buy. When you get boring, people don't listen and they don't retain your message. So you have to get interesting. I probably just scared everyone off this call from that. I'm just doing that. But you've got to get interesting. You've got to change your tonality and your voice. And you got to speak loud. And you got to whisper sometimes. So you got to do a lot of things. But the moral of the story is review your show, listen to it back, and realize when you are getting boring. That's number one. The second thing that's going to come out of this is you're going to realize how clear you're communicating. So sometimes we know what we're saying, but we don't know but the person who's listening doesn't have context as to what we're trying to get across. So they don't have all of the information in their head. So you've really got to paint the picture, paint the environment,
Even when you're interviewing someone, you've got to ask them, hey, give us some context. When were you doing this? How many years ago was it? What was it like? What did it feel like? So you've got to paint the picture and be descriptive when you're telling people about a story or whatever it is you're describing on your podcast. So that's number 2. You're going to realize when you are losing your audience and when you are not clearly communicating. That's number 2. And then the last one, you're going to really see if you're that good, if you like listening to what you're talking about, right? Like it's just an honest assessment about what you're actually saying to your audience. Because if you don't like it, then chances are it's going to be really hard to send someone to your podcast and get them to listen and subscribe because you don't even believe in what you're selling, right? So that's why I want to do this episode, because I really feel like a lot of people want to get into podcasting, but they don't, not all the time. Some, maybe not you, but maybe you don't even listen to podcasts or you don't even find value in them. So that's probably mistake number 1, as to, making this successful, right? So before I got started into podcasting, I had already been listening to shows for about 2 years. Binge listening, like subscribing to a whole bunch of people, listening and learning, figuring out what works, and just falling in love with the platform. Like I love podcasts because they pulled me out of such a dark place in my life. And I know they can do the same for other people. And that's why I'm passionate about it. I mean, I was at a really low point and I needed someone to come in my ear, just talk me through it, and to kind of help me through that period of my life. So, that's why I like it, and that's why I believe in it. That's why I sell them so hard. But they're not for everyone. So, moral of the story, go listen to your last episode and see if you like it. See where you're not communicating clearly. See where you're getting boring. And then also see if your call to action is clear. Do you know what you want to do? Or do people know what you want to do after you're done telling them? So like after this episode, it's very clear. I want you to go listen to your last episode, and I want you to listen and be honest with yourself and figure out, am I boring? Do I understand what I'm trying to say here? If I gave this to someone who I wanted to be who I wanted to do business with, would I be happy with? Would I be proud of it? Would I stand behind it? Would they convert? Right? So that's my message for everyone today. Hope you listen to it. Hope you take it. And as a side note, I'd love some feedback on this. Is this helping you? Jordan, is this podcast, this random little mini Instagram podcast, helpful? I hope it is. So that's my question. That's my ask. That's my call to action. Go out there, listen to your own show, and see if you like it, and be honest with yourself. So without further ado, I got to get home, get some stuff done, and have an awesome rest of your friggin' day.
Hey, what's up? Lewis again, and I get asked this question a lot, so I wanted to answer it here for you in a unique manner. And that question is, Lewis, what exactly do you do? How do you help podcasters? What exactly do you and what does Podcast Domination really help with? Well, instead of me sitting here and telling you all the amazing stuff about us, I thought it'd be fun and interesting for you guys to hear what our clients are saying. So here you go. Please enjoy.
Lewis literally makes my life so much easier. All I have to do is record my content. I don't have to worry about editing it. I don't have to worry about writing show notes. I don't have to create any of my graphics to promote it. He literally does everything for me.
We hired Lewis to kind of help us set up podcasts, for us to put our content out and kind of grow our brand. And all I really have to say, it's been a huge success. It's been really easy. Lewis and his whole team have made the whole process easy, from setting it up originally, which with podcasts is kind of intimidating, and there's a lot of things that if you don't know a lot about the platform, that it's very time consuming. So Lewis made all of that easy.
In the beginning, I'm not going to lie, I was completely overwhelmed, confused, stressed out, because I went on YouTube trying to figure out how to set up a successful podcast. And actually going on YouTube, I was just bombarded by so much information that I just wanted to give up on the idea. And then I met a good friend of ours that introduced me to Lewis, and we hit it off. And he just said to me, it's really, really simple. I will take care of everything for you. I think what Lewis has done for me has made it seem so painless. He has took my idea and saved me money. He saved me time and energy. And more importantly, he's made my Persistence Factor podcast sound professional.
Well, I hope you enjoyed those sound bites as much as I enjoyed putting them together. If you have any questions about how we can help you grow, launch, or further your podcasting efforts, feel free to reach out to me at Lewis@Podcast Domination, or you can reach out to my team and ask them some questions. hello@podcastdomination.co. Both are .co. Just make sure that's, keep that in mind. Anyways, I'll see you on the next episode. And until next time, keep dominating.